Hi, and welcome to this exercise video with exercises you can do when you're lying down in the bed or on the floor. I'm going to lie on this table. You want to have a TheraBand and a pair of ankle weights as well if you want to make the exercises more difficult. So if you know you're strong, go ahead and put your ankle weights on. We're going to start with a straight leg raise. I like to keep my other knee bent, and then think about engaging your belly. So you want to pull your belly button in and press the lower part of your back, the small of your back, into the bed or the table. And then we're going to contract this quadricep and bring the leg up so that the knees are at the same level and then down. This is a really good speed, so try not to go any faster than I'm going, and we're doing a brief pause at the top for a count of 1,000, and then down. So for each of these exercises, I'll go through sets of 10. And then if you'd like to do more, I recommend going back and doing a second set, maybe a third set, especially if these feel easy for you. Try to keep your core, your belly engaged and hugged in throughout the exercise. Our next exercise is a heel slide. So again, I'll keep this knee bent. And I'm just going to bring my heel up towards my bottom and then straighten it back out. Slide it in and out. So you can always put a little hand towel underneath your heel to make it slide easier. This is just a nice warm-up motion, good for increasing range of motion in the knee and just waking up the joint, the knee joint, the hip joint, and the surrounding muscles. So you could even start with this one if you like. And then for our next exercise, we'll start with both knees bent. We're going to come up into a bridge. So you want to bring your heels kind of close to your bottom. And you can start with a little pelvic tilt. So just rocking your hips forward and then pressing the small of your back down into the bed or the mat. And then as you begin that motion, pressing your back down, pulling in your belly button, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your butt muscles, and lift up. And then slowly come back down and roll the hips forward, tuck the hips, press the back down, squeeze the glutes, and come back up. If this exercise feels, and again, note the speed I'm going. Nice and slow through the whole movement. Going slowly as I come up, little pause at the top, and slowly coming down. And we could do 5 more of these together. Coming up and down. If you're on a softer surface, it can be harder to get up high with your bridge. Do the best that you can. And really where you want to feel this one is in your gluteus maximus, the muscles of your bottom. That's really what we're trying to work here to create strength in those large muscle groups. Great. And then for our next one, we're going to bring this right leg up so the knees are about the same height. Then we're going to come out to the side. Again, engaging my core, holding in my belly, and back in, and then foot down. Up, out to the side, in. We can bring the whole leg down. So that's 2 options for you. You can keep the leg long. This is harder because it's a longer lever. And if that feels too hard, you can modify by starting with the bent knee, then straightening out to the side, in and down. So you have 2 choices. This may be different side to side. It may be different on a given day. Some days you might feel stronger than others. That's perfectly normal. And coming back down. Just to stretch your back, I like this knee roll. You can stretch your arms out. You can put your arms overhead. And really just rocking the knees side to side like a windshield wiper movement. If your back starts to feel tight at all during these exercises, or when you first wake up in the morning, this is a really nice way to gently stretch out your lower back. And you can do as many of those as feels good. I usually like to do somewhere in the realm of 20. Then we can take our band. I'm going to wrap this around my foot here, try to keep it wide so that it kind of hugs the foot. And then I'm just going to push out and slowly come back. Push out and slowly come back. So I'm also getting a workout with my arms here just by holding the band. And you want to make sure you keep your shoulders away from your ears. So I'm not doing this number. I'm keeping my shoulders down. And you can play with the angle of your leg. I like what I'm doing here, which is about pushing out at about a 45-degree angle. You can certainly push straight out, like so. It feels a little different, and we work slightly different aspects of the muscles. Or you can do more upright or vertical. Can't quite bend as much. So I say start with the 45 degrees, do 10 here, and if you've got some more juice and you want to switch it up a little bit, try bringing your leg a little more parallel to the bed or the table. And again, if you do 10 of these and you don't feel like you did anything, that number is pretty arbitrary. Do 20. And so for our next one, you can tie the band around your knees. You can make a little knot, or maybe you can keep a pre-tied band close by. And you want to tie this pretty tight. So you want a good amount of resistance. Bring your knees all the way together when you tie it. And then keep your feet about hip width apart, so my feet aren't completely together. They're a little bit wider. And then I'm just going to do a clamshell here, knees apart. So we'll do 10 like this, and then I'll show you another variation. Again, nice and slow. Slow out, slow back in. I'm not letting the band whip my legs together. That's much less effective, and you can hurt yourself. The other option for this is you can lie on your side. You can do a set on either side. You can have a pillow here. Your feet stay together and your knee comes apart. Knee lifts up and down. Think about keeping your belly tight, as with all of our exercises. And then you can do the other side. These are harder. Doing it on your side is harder than on your back. So if the back one feels challenging enough, maybe start with that for a few weeks, and then you can incorporate this one to the side. The last one I'll show you, you can use a pillow from your bed. You can use a ball. I'm going to have to get up and grab this little blanket here. We'll come back to our back with our knees bent. And you want to put your pillow, in my case the blanket or a little ball here, and then we're going to bring our knees in. Hold for 1, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze the knees together, hold, 1, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze and hold, 1, 2, 3, relax. Squeeze and hold. So you should feel this at least somewhat in your inner thighs. We're working our adductor muscles, the muscles that bring our legs together. And relax. And you can also incorporate a little pelvic floor work here. So essentially, you just want to think about engaging your abdomen as you're squeezing your legs together and pulling up from the pelvic floor. Relax. This can be very helpful to strengthen some of those muscles, helps with incontinence, and relax. And so you really just think about pulling up while you're squeezing your legs. And if that's too much to think about, just bring your knees together and hold and relax. We'll do 2 more together. And last one here. So that's a good comprehensive line on your back workout to start with. And try that for a few weeks. If it gets too easy, you can add a thicker resistance band
more ankle weights, and you can always do more repetitions.